Good afternoon, Prynhawn da. I'm joined today by Giovanna Donzelli and Christiane Guenther. We're going to be talking a little bit about our education pathway, which runs across all 3 years of modern languages study at Swansea. Could you start by introducing yourselves, Christiane, Giovanna? Christiane, do you want to go first?
Yeah, of course. Hello, I'm Christiane Guenther. I'm originally from Germany, came to Swansea in 2011, and I'm the lecturer for German language at the moment, teaching German language courses and interpreting courses. And I was also involved in designing the new teaching languages pathway for Swansea.
Super. And Giovanna?
Yeah, I am Giovanna Donzelli. I lecture Italian and second language acquisition at Swansea University. I have a PhD in applied linguistics and a specialism in vocabulary learning in instructional settings. The teaching pathway somehow was inspired by an early pilot project we did in local primary schools, and I feel very privileged to have actually converted that initial idea into a pathway for our students.
Yeah, could you expand on that a little bit more, actually? So what is the teaching pathway, Giovanna?
Yeah, the teaching pathway is something that we offer our students of BA in modern languages, and they can come to us with a very clear idea in mind of what they would like to do and the type of studies they would like to pursue for the 3-4 years of their course. Or they might be willing to actually try a few things out. So we designed this 3-way pathway where students can either start with, for example, engaging with teaching the language they study with us for the course of their undergraduate degrees, or they may start with the passion or an interest in cultural studies and therefore take a first year module in that direction and then switch into the teaching pathway if they think that that's something they would like to pursue as a career, or indeed if it's an interest they would like to look into a little bit more.
Yeah, super. And how are you involved in this teaching pathway, Christiane?
I thought it was a couple of years ago we had the idea to extend our module offers to also first years and final year students. So students that, as Giovanna just said, that either had an initial interest in becoming a teacher later on, or just simply trying out new skills, because once you study a language, at some point you will be asked to teach a little bit that language anyway. So might it be teaching a workshop in our language cafes, or going to a school placement, or doing an internship, or actually choosing to be a British Council assistant on your year abroad. Those are all skills that you need to become a language teacher. So what I have done with Greg, you as well, we have this far designed a new module for our first year students, which is an introduction to language teaching. Basically, it's a module where the students will get information how languages are actually learned. First, we're going to talk about how children pick up languages, their first languages, and then make comparisons to second language teaching. We introduce all 4 skills, and we do it in a very, very interactive way. So basically, it's not a lecture type setting. So students actually receive information by trying out different interactions that they could actually use themselves later on when they are teaching themselves.
Yeah, that's super. You mentioned a little about placements there. I think your module involves a placement. Does it, Giovanna? Could you speak a bit about that?
Yes, yes. Our students, the module is called Teaching Modern Foreign Languages to Young Learners. So it's specifically focused on how young learners develop and learn. So we introduce ideas of models of child development, for example. We help students research differences in language acquisition processing in children, teenagers and adults, but with a clear focus on the young learner cohort. We, as Christiane mentioned, we look into skills, but in the year 2 particularly we look at how grammar and vocabulary are learned, and therefore how we can teach those aspects of the language, and whether, for example, there is a common interface between them or whether they are completely split areas. And so we will be focusing on developing these research skills in class during the lectures and the seminars. And halfway through the course, the student will then start being allocated to local primary schools where they go and they teach 5 to 10 teaching sessions, trying to apply the principles, the theoretical models that they've actually studied in class, and putting together what we call a logbook of observations, so that the teaching is group teaching, so they develop skills that are beyond teaching as such, and maybe we can look at that in a moment. But they put together this logbook, which are little entries, little reflections of what they've actually been doing in the classroom with these groups of young learners. And that logbook will then become fundamental for the compilation of the coursework and the assessment on the course.
That sounds great. What if someone doesn't want to be a teacher, having done this pathway, Christiane, what else will they get out of it? What transferable skills will they get from following a module, or from following 3 modules in teaching?
Well, first of all, communicative skills, using your language in different settings, organizational skills, putting together a lesson plan, being able to design a path to reach a certain goal, teamwork, because you need to collaborate with other students. So there are quite a lot of skills as well, and especially also how to be in charge of something. So often we've been approached by schools asking us, can you please give us taster sessions, or can you please nominate students to be language ambassadors? And obviously those students that have a keen interest in promoting the language, those are the students that we would approach first. And actually any extracurricular activity will just boost your CV, and students then do something special.
Yeah. If you can link to that, Greg, I think it's very important what Christiane mentioned in teamwork, and I would add leadership to it as well, because when you work together in a team, when you teach a group together, there's a lot of leadership that I can see students negotiate on. There are initially, for example, students who seem very shy, who develop this amazing leadership skills during the course of the placement, and very often they weren't aware of having this gift almost, and they develop an awareness of what their strengths are, which is an invaluable opportunity really once you then go out in the job market and you actually become more aware, and you have become more aware of what your weaknesses are, but indeed what your strengths are as well.
And if I may add, speaking in front of a large cohort of people is a skill as well. You need to, in the job market, I'm sure everybody needs to do a presentation at some point, or speak, or promote something, lead a staff meeting or whatever, and being able to do this in your first year at Swansea University, teaching your peers and being in charge of something and being confident to step in front of the room and to do a lesson is a really amazing little step towards being a great speaker as well.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderfully informative overview you've given there of the teaching pathway. Thank you, Christiane. Thank you, Giovanna. And hopefully, for anyone watching this, we'll be able to welcome you to Swansea in the not too distant future. So thanks, Jock,
Thank you.
and bye.